from... away from our wood production. Alright, but now that we have these grain places, I can dump these sailors here, and I need to get that clay going. I will not start a petition to make Patrician 5. Online petitions are, generally speaking, a waste of time. The exceptions are only there to prove the rule. Lots of places with plenty of ships now, even though they claim they got all these missing goods. How are my inland cities doing? Oh, Berlin's in upswing. Its population looks alright, and the smithies are making goods for me. How's the metal doing, Erfurt? Nicely is the answer. Excellent. I should go to all these people and give them meals for the poor. I should also do something about storage costs if I'm facing them. And apparently I am. Because yeah, these guys do actually store quite a bit of goods. But storage costs are paltry, all things considered. I'm going to go around all the internal cities and give them meals for the poor, because it really helps drive up the everything. Smithies in Minden as well. I need those metal goods so badly. Yes, Minden, Erfurt, Berlin, Posen. And this is nice, they're all in upswing, so they're all... this is because I give them very specialized treatment when it comes to having loads of goods. Breslau, again, meal for that poor. Warsaw. They're all at 1,000, but they will grow exponentially. Slowly, but exponentially. Kaunas is a good example of that. They've got a head start and they've already grown by a huge amount, because they started out at about double the size of the others. So it stands to reason that they would maintain double size of others. I will want to set up separate routes for them to send their goods to a city. It might be that I make Kaunas deliver to Königsberg, because it's a lot easier than having them deliver all the way to Rostock, or even have them go to Riga. Depends where I want that cheese. Similarly, Warsaw could go to Thorn, since Warsaw deal in wine, I believe. I should check that. Yes, wine and honey. Just so happened that Thorn want honey. We love honey around here. But that's a concern I can deal with once these places grow up a bit more. Right, what is my concern right now though? Probably building up Königsberg. Though I do want that metal. I really want that metal flowing. But I'll let these guys build up a bit more. Königsberg, I want you to be big. Which means you're going to lose 4 wineries. You're also going to upgrade that cathedral. Yes, I know it costs money. Tell me something that doesn't. Also costs metal goods, which I think I'm pretty short on everywhere. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my. We have such a shortage of goods around here. It makes me wonder how we're actually staying afloat. But the meat and the cheese, and to a degree the wheat still flows, so that's good for everybody. Okay, Königsberg. Plenty of space, potentially, as long as these wineries didn't take up too much. So let's get building. We need that clay after all. Where to begin? Probably the businesses. Nice thing is I own everything in this city already, so there's nothing to buy up. And it means that all the numbers are absolute when I check the details about the city. And I maxed the wall, super maxed the moment I arrived here. Yep, everything's just peachy. Because it's good to be the despot. Shouldn't have said that word, because now I really want to play some Europa. Such a curse. So many games I want to play. Is there ever enough time? No, there is not. A bit more inefficiency than I like in this building, but that's okay. Despite the total lack of goods, they say they're doing good. And I do think that that is courtesy to these cathedrals, because they're still in prosperity despite having an enormous lack of goods here. That does smack of artificially being held up. 7 million for a small hemp farm with like 2 or 3 dying plants, poor soil, a rundown house, and a caved-in stable is nearly a steal, Jake. If you say so, buddy. So often it just refuses to close in that road for me. It would just do it like that. That was good. I want more of that. I think I had a way of doing that before. Was it this? Maybe. That might be working better. Might be creating long-term problems for all I know, but it looks to be working okay. Alright, that's fine, but I'm going to jack up the number of houses I have as well, because that's the only reason I need, just because I'm the one building this city, not you. It'll take a couple of weeks, or however long until we get the metal goods for that cathedral to be built anyway, so it's not like there's a huge rush going on here. You know, this would almost be relaxing if it wasn't so horrible. But I guess Resi 5 would have been a good game if it wasn't a steaming pile of horse turd. Do I sound bitter about that game? It's probably because I'm pretty bitter about that game. Unless we some kind of Geneva Convention against games like that. Oh, I saw that. This won't be the most pleasant place to live, I imagine. All these clay factories can't be good. Unless you're one of the lucky sods who lives near the wine orchards. I wonder if it's nice living next to an orchard. It's probably not as romantic as it sounds. Anybody here worked in some kind of fruit harvesting shindig? Used to be a real summer job where I was from, going out and picking strawberries. But pay was atrocious. I mean, not that you could really expect much else. I mean, really, if you're going to build it like this, why not allow us to just stamp it down this way? It would cut out the micro by a factor of 8. Jake, workers are lucky to have pay at all. Huh. I pay my workers very well. Although, hilariously, I pay them less when things are going well in the city. We're all wealthy, great. Your wages are reduced by 10%. And then my people go, how does that work? And then I go, like you, not at all if you carry on with that attitude. It's good to be the king. It's a good thing we're producing clay here, because hot damn am I going to need it. I'm also almost out of money. Which is a terrifying situation. It's because I'm building all of this stuff and I have no materials for it, so they charge me market price. And market price for materials that you have none of is extremely high. Still, we're almost there with the buildings. I think I should call canny a bit though. Let's press spacebar and make some money for a change. Crunch, crunch, under attack. I've got to remove that sound effect. What a bug they put in the game. And I assume it's a bug. I want to believe it's a bug. Huge shortage of clay here. Thankfully the clay pits are up and running. And since wine is not really necessary, it's more of a luxury good, I'm going to pump people into those clay pits so we actually have some more clay to play with. Similarly, these people need a lot of wood, and it just so happens I have a ton of wood right now. So, please bring us quite a lot of it. Love how fast this ship is. Population after my meal for the poor seems to have jumped up in Berlin, but I'm more interested how much it went up in Kaunas. Yeah, 2,000. And like I said, it's all exponential, so it's going to grow and then grow some more. Oh, that is going to get tiresome. Grain numbers are looking okay. Weaver numbers are not. How about Bremen? Wood number is probably not looking so good here. That clay needs to flow a lot harder. But at least we have all these hemp places up and going. Whilst poor Haarlem goes, where's my hemp? Where's my salt? And Oslo probably goes, I've got so much meat I don't know what to do with it. So I'm going to grab the Oslo meat man, wherever he is. Oslo meat the glorious. Okay, well there's a problem with you. That's a problem I will sort once you're done fixing. Okay, you're taking forever with that fixing, but that's okay. Dum-de-dum-dum. Oh right, I need to actually bring you back, don't I? Whoop. And we'll just load you up with cogs. You don't need to be a Hanseatic cog for where you're going. There we go. So you're 4.5 times more capacity than before. Hopefully that's plenty. Depends how long your route is, really. 6 days. And you got 9. Yeah, you should be plenty big enough. Patrician 4 and your relaxing narration have done their work. I'm off to bed. Well, so long, Worm. And then Korean comes in saying, hello, Jake. Are we economically conquering Sweden anytime soon? Well, Oslo is essentially ours here. But if you mean in Rostov, then not tonight. All these stock farms. I still don't like the fact that they're outside of the city limits, but Fitkinemende. Königsberg, build that thing. And they say no, we need metal goods. And well, Königsberg is a bit of a priority right now. So, Berlin. Or is it Erfurt? Who's got all of our metal goods? I know Minden produced quite a few of them. I mean, I could start making convoys that bring their goods back. They wouldn't need to be very big right now. I got 21 wagons here. Okay, so how about Minden to Rostock, and they are bringing tools. And I'm going to take names from the ship names again, even though these aren't ships. And you can be Penelope. So it's very simple. You start in Minden, you go to Rostock. 9 days, huh? I hope you're big enough for this. You load all the metal tools, and then you dump all the metal tools. Very simple, get to work. Minden to Rostock tool. And we need to make another one. You're going to be Erfurt to Rostock metal. Which is odd, because Minden really needs lots of metal, but maybe it's better just to have it this way. And what names do we have here? Not going to use Salty, I just don't like it as a name, but I will use At. I like that. So, Erfurt over to Rostock, apparently 9 days. I could make them stop off in Minden and dump enough metal there to keep them happy, since Minden is going to need metal for that, and it would help us out a bit. So Erfurt loads all the metal. In Minden, they unload and load loads of metal. And then in Rostock, they simply unload everything. So that's Erfurt to Rostock metal. Just 1,000 though, and I strongly suspect they're going to produce a lot more than 1,000 pretty quickly. Erfurt, when it comes to metal, currently produce in 10 days almost 600 of this stuff. So Erfurt needs to have more than that. Quite a lot more than that. Should be good for now. But Erfurt only creates metal, that's nice. Posen and Breslau with their whole wine thing, I don't really care about that right now. It's a tiny amount of wine that they produce. But it might be better to nip it in the bud. That way I can just set them up and enlarge them if need be later on. So what's the first one? It's Posen to Rostock. Is it better to get to Rostock? Posen and Breslau and Warsaw. It's probably better to make them all go to Thorn, because Thorn puts their wine up to Danzig anyway. Yeah, I think that's right. Posen to Thorn. Wine. And a little low on the names today. If anybody wants a name for ships, just use the link at the top. I'm not sure if we've used the name no, does anybody have wine names? Names of wine. I'm going to need 3 of them. And they're going to need to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do I call it wine or win? I can shorten it to win and then remove that. So assume that you have 9 characters. Give us some names of wine. Merlot, eh? I mean, it's better if you use the link at the top of the screen, but I guess it's easier for you to throw it in there. I call it wine there, but when I go like Thorn to Danzig, okay, I do call it wine. So we don't call it win around here. That's nice. So this will be Posen to Thorn, really quick and easy to do. Load all the wine. It doesn't take all the wine, there's certain amounts that are limited from trading. And then unload all the wine. Posen to Rostock wine. Not Rostock, no. Thorn. And I shall make another. And this will be... I don't even know. Yeah, that. Breslau to Thorn. So, Breslau to Thorn, wine. Breslau to Thorn, wine. And what wine names do we have? Robola. Is that really a type of wine? Well, you know more than me, right? I don't drink wine. Foul stuff. And then I need one more. And this will be the Warsaw to Thorn wine. And what other names do we have? Rosé. What a short trade route, but hey. At least we get it going. Load all of the wine in Warsaw, go to Thorn, and then unload it. It's nice to have variety in the trade routes. I mean, if just everything went to Rostock and it went out from there, it would be a bit dull, wouldn't it? Warsaw to Thorn wine. Beautiful, except Warsaw also makes honey. And whilst I could put it to Thorn, I probably will. Yeah, I'll put it to Thorn. And then later on I will set up a route that takes Thorn's honey. Probably to Danzig, and then Danzig to Rostock. A bit complex, but it's better than carting it all the way along here, which takes forever. And we have capacity problems with that. And they are going to produce a lot of honey, so I'll probably need more than one for this. Warsaw to Thorn, honey, and what name do we have? Buckchuck. Sure, why not? Who came up with that? Empathetica 2. Such queer names around here sometimes. 2 days. 2 days with that many produces a lot of honey. So I think I will have you be bigger from the start. 2,000. Actually, you're going to need 3 if I want this to work from the start forever. Warsaw to Thor, honey. So in Warsaw, collect all the honey. In Thorn, dump all the honey. Beautiful. Still 2 more to go. One is Kaunas, the other is Berlin. So Kaunas to... we'll have to check the map for this one. Could just take it to Riga. Could take it to Königsberg. And Königsberg is faster. So I'll probably do it that way. Very simple. Take all the cheese, then dump all the cheese. Kaunas to... is it Con? Just Con? I don't even know how to do my little umliet on the O, so forget that. Cheese, and we got any cheese names? Edam, Cheddar, Leicestershire, Red Leicestershire, Brie, Parmesan. Parmesan? Yeah. Mozzarella. I think I've done Edam. I think I'll go for cheddar. Unless Poles have a certain kind of cheese that they're very fond of. Roquefort Gouda. Yeah, I like Gouda. Cheddar is more of a British one to have. Königsberg 2. Königsberg. Cheese. And thinking about it, in the long run, they're going to be producing about 1,000 a day. So you would actually need 3 if you wanted to keep up with that forever. So that's okay. The only ones I see left are Berlin and Berlin. So we'll get on that. So this is the Berlin to Rostock tool. And I'm just going to call you hammer because that's the word I got right now in my head. Berlin goes to Rostock, doesn't take that long. Grab all the tools, please. And then in Rostock, dump all the tools. Just imagine how difficult all this would be if I hadn't set up my hub system when I did, and then proceeded to move that hub from Aalborg to Rostock. Alright, one last one to do here, and that will be Berlin to Rostock cloth. Do I call it cloth? Probably cloth. And what am I going to call you? Drunk Duck. No, we won't. We'll call you Raz Wing, because I like the sound of that. So you go from Berlin, you go to Rostock. You load all the cloth, and then you dump all the cloth. Berlin to Rostock cloth. Get to it. And look at all of them go. Happy days. Still have an issue though, and one of that is that the wild card Rostock, which honestly could do me a favour by holding onto this wood, stop costing me all that money. But what I need is for you to bring a whole bunch of tools over to Königsberg, because they need it. I want them to uncap right now. There we go, they used most of them straight away. Glad to be making that dosh. This is more prolific than those pirates ever were. It's so unpleasant. Hemp is required in Bruges. Groningen really need to... No, it wasn't Groningen, was it? It was somebody else that needs to ramp it up. Not Hamburg either. Not Lübeck. You'll get there eventually, Jake. No, still not Hamburg. Bremen need to ramp it up here. They claim they really want wood, but truthfully what they want is clay. I'm glad they're making hemp for me though. I mean, Haarlem gets hemp to a degree, but Nijmegen probably doesn't give them enough. Despite their best attempts. Yeah, well, I can't give you Carvels, unfortunately. Nijmegen does have another river cog for you, though, so when you come back to Nijmegen, I'm going to tell you to add it, so you can actually bring more hemp. Because I think you're a little too slow. Aarhus is getting slaughtered with plague right now, which is killing people. That puts them into a state of emergency. It probably wouldn't if I had kept them a little better supplied with goodies, but hey-ho to that. And also, do I have many ships that have stopped? Well, these ones have stopped because they don't really know what to do. Oh, that's probably because there isn't enough wine there for them to even start that, but that's okay. I'm worried about ships that have stopped. Haarlem to Rostov, honey.